Today we are going to take a look at another horrible case with you. Marriage is a secret bond in which, once united, every individual forget all past relationships and start a new life. However, in some relationships, we become deeply mentally and physically attached to someone, making it incredibly difficult to move on if one ends up marrying someone else in such situations. It can have an impact on the marriage as well. While divorce can be a solution, some people choose terrifying alternatives instead. This story begins in Maharashtra, one of the India's biggest and largest commercial and industrial hubs in the state. A city located called Mumbai, a city of immense importance due to its economic significance and entertainment industry among other reasons. The date was September 30, 2021, and at around 7:30 a.m., a man went out for his morning walk in Sector 7 of CGS Colony, Mumbai. Suddenly, his eyes fell on a few plastic bags lying by the side of the road. When he went closer to inspect them, his heart sank. The man found human body parts inside the plastic bags. Shockingly, the location was just a few steps away from the office of the Assistant Commissioner of Police. For this reason, the man immediately goes to the ACPS office and tells them that he has just seen a dead body. Hearing this, the police became immediately alert, and that's why ACP along with several other officers rushed to the spot. There were many large black plastic bags scattered around, some of which were even burned. The police then called forensic experts, and when all the bags were opened, pieces of human body parts were found in each one. Additionally, a few bottles of hand sanitizer were found near the body. Seeing these bottles, the police suspected that the body parts had been set on fire using the sanitizer, as it catches fire easily. However, apart from the plastic bags, a bed sheet was also found with some body parts wrapped in it. But the most shocking thing was that, while the police had found almost all of the body parts, the head of the dead body was missing. Some parts of the body appeared to have been placed in the plastic bags, and an attempt had made to burn them. Although some pieces had burned, the fire was extinguished by the rain, preventing the entire body from being cremated. Soon news of the dismembered body spread throughout the area. Meanwhile, the police gathered the remaining body parts and sent them to the hospital for forensic examination, while they began searching for the missing head. Now a series of questions started arising for the police. Who could the killer possibly be? Usually, criminals dispose of a dead body in a location where the police are unlikely to reach. However, in this case, the killer had dismembered the body and left the parts at a location just a few steps away from the police station. The police had to advance their investigation, but the body was missing its face, making identification difficult. Typically, the first step in such cases is to identify the body so that further action can begin. On the other hand, the police discovered that the body had a tattoo on one hand that read Dada. Additionally, forensic experts determined that the murder had taken place 1 or 2 days prior. For the police, the Dada tattoo and the timing of the murder were crucial clues. However, it soon became evident that solving this case would be extremely challenging. As a first step, the police checked missing person complaints for men aged 30 to 35 in all nearby police stations. Unfortunately, no missing complaint matched the description of the body. After this failure, a team from the police took the bedsheet in which the body parts had been wrapped and checked it at various shops in the CGS Colony area. However, this effort also proved fruitless for the police. Now, even the Dada tattoo on the dead body's head wasn't particularly unique, because the term Dada is quite commonly used in various parts of India. For example, in the states of Maharashtra and West Bengal, people often refer to elder brothers as Dada. Additionally, some people have Dada as their name or surname, and in some regions, it is used to address grandfathers. Because of this, the police couldn't confirm whether the murdered individuals was from Maharashtra or some other region. However, on the other hand, the police received information from the hospital that the victim had a metal plate implanted in the ankle of their left leg. Metal plates are often implanted in the human body to repair broken bones, replace joints, or provide structural support. This made it clear that the victim's leg must have been fractured at some point. After this revelation, the Mumbai police felt a glimmer of hope in identifying the victim. When such implants are placed in the human body, they often have the company's name and a serial number engraved on them. Fortunately, this implant also had a serial number meanwhile. Another police team was tasked with checking all the CCTV cameras installed around the area where the dead body was found. Unfortunately, there were no cameras in the direction where the body was discovered. As the area was quite desolate and rarely visited, however, there were only 2 roads leading to that location. And the police collected the footage from all the cameras installed on those roads for the night of September 29th and the early hours of September 30th. After this, several officers began watching hundreds of hours of footage from dozens of cameras. Meanwhile, another police team started visiting various hospitals across Mumbai with the metal plate found in the victim's left ankle. During this process, some doctors at one hospital recognized the company that manufactured the metal plate because the hospital regularly procured such plates from them with the help of these doctors. The police contacted the company that made the metal plate. They then provided the serial number from the plate found in the victim's ankle and asked the company to identify the patient it was implanted in. In response, the company informed the police that a total of 40 such plates had been manufactured and distributed to various hospitals across India. With this information, the police began visiting different hospitals to determine which patient had received that specific metal plate. Meanwhile, the team reviewing CCTV footage also made a crucial discovery after significant effort. A camera installed not far from the location where the dead body was found captured something important. On the night of September 29th, the camera recorded a silver WagonR car in the area. The CCTV footage revealed that, apart from this silver WagonR, no other vehicle had headed toward that deserted location that night. Furthermore, when the car went to the location, it started raining shortly after. And just a few minutes into the rain, the car was seen leaving the area. As a result, the WagonR appeared quite dirty, as the road leading to that remote location was muddy. Because of this, police suspicions about the car increased even more. However, when the Mumbai police tried to see the car's license plate, it was not visible. Additionally, due to the raindrops on the car's windows made it impossible to see the faces of the people inside. However, the police did manage to ascertain that the car was being driven by a man with a woman seated beside him. At this point, the police noticed a sticker on the front of the car that read "Police in India." Such stickers are typically used only by police officers on their vehicles, raising the question of whether this car belonged to a police officer. Another factor for that, the spot where the body was found was just a few steps away from the Assistant Commissioner of Police office and a police station. Because of this, the police confirmed whether the car had become to the police station that night. However, after checking the CCTV footage from the cameras installed at the office, it was discovered that the car had passed away but had not entered the office. During this investigation, some officers working at the ACP's office recalled that a police constable in their department also owned a silver WagonR. The constable's name was Shiv Shankar Gaikwad. Shiv Shankar was 45 years old and worked as the driver for the assistant commissioner. He had been serving in the police department for the past 20 years. The police began to suspect Shiv Shankar, but there was no evidence against him yet. On September 29, the ACP was on leave, and since Shiv Shankar was his driver, he did not report to the police station that day. Either because of this, the investigative officers discreetly retrieved Shiv Shankar's call, detailed records, and location history. Constable Shiv Shankar lived with his wife and 2 children in a police quarters in a place called Worli. He had 2 children, one aged 15 and the other 12. The police has discovered dismembered body parts on September 30th, and by now 7 to 8 days had passed. While examining Shiv Shankar's contact list, they noticed a suspicious number saved under the name Dada Jagdale. This name immediately reminded the police of the tattoo that was found on the left hand of the victim, which also read Dada. Call history revealed that Shiv Shankar and Dada Jagdale occasionally communicated. The police then traced Dada Jagdale's phone records, which showed that he was from Aklush town in the Solapur district of Maharashtra. After this information came to light, the police technical team informed the team investigating. The matter plate investigation team then learned that a man named Dada Jagdale was a resident of Solapur district. When they cross-checked their records, they found that one of the 40 plates matching the description had also been delivered to a hospital in Solapur district. Following this, the team sprang into action and headed to the hospital in Solapur. Meanwhile, the police team analyzing call detail records directly tried to contact Dada Jagdale on his phone. Unfortunately, his phone was unreachable. However, the police managed to retrieve his wife's number from his call detail records. The police then called Dada Jagdale's wife, who informed them he left for Mumbai on September 29, saying he was going to meet a friend and would return the next day, September 30th. But it's been a week now and he hasn't come back. On top of that, his phone has been switched off. For context, the distance from Solapur to Mumbai is approximately 250 miles, which takes around 8 hours to cover by road. Meanwhile, the team investigating the metal plate reached the hospital in Solapur and obtained information about the patient who had the metal plate implanted. The police discovered that Dada Jagdale himself had undergone a procedure to implant the metal plate in his ankle some time ago. Now, one by one, every dot was connecting, and seeing this, the Mumbai police began to understand that the body parts they found on September 30th belonged to Dada Jagdale. Alongside this revelation, their suspicion of Constable Shiv Shankar deepened even further following this. The police traced Dada Jagdale's last known location and discovered that his phone was last active in the same government police quarters where Constable Shiv Shankar lived. Moreover, from Dada Jagdale's call detail records, the police uncovered a shocking piece of information. It turned out that Constable Shiv Shankar's wife, Monali Gaikwad, was also saved in Dada Jagdale's contact list. Additionally, Dada Jagdale and Monali Gaikwad had several long conversations over the phone. Now the police were trying to figure out the nature of the connection between Dada Jagdale, Constable Shiv Shankar and Monali Gaikwad. As part of their investigation, the police brought in Shiv Shankar and his wife Monali for questioning on October 9. During the interrogation, both claimed they knew nothing about Dada Jagdale. However, when the police showed them Dada Jagdale's last known location, both admitted that he had come to their house. They maintained that Dada Jagdale had visited them previously as well, and that his visit on that day was nothing unusual. Here, the police was also discovered that Monali and Dada Jagdale were from the same town and had been childhood friends. However, soon after, the police presented Constable Shiv Shankar with his call detail records. CCTV footage of his Wagoner car and the bed sheet used to wrap the body parts as evidence. Seeing all this, the constable was stunned and realized he had been caught. Following this, Constable Shiv Shankar confessed that he had murdered Dada Jagdale and narrated the entire story to the police. On the morning of September 29, 2021, Constable Shiv Shankar had his wife Monali call Dada Jagdale and invite them to their house that same day. Since Dada Jagdale's childhood friend had invited him to her home, how could he refuse? For this reason, Dada Jagdale left his house early that morning and after an 8-hour journey reached Monali's home. At that time, Constable Shiv Shankar's two children were out playing, and when Dada Jagdale arrived, Monali welcomed him warmly. Monali then went to the kitchen to make tea. But in the living room, Shiv Shankar attacked Dada Jagdale with a sharp weapon. Hearing Dada Jagdale's cries for help, Monali rushed in from the kitchen, but by then it was too late. Dada Jagdale lay on the ground, covered in blood, while Shiv Shankar stood there holding the sharp weapon in his hand. After seeing the scene, Monali faints and falls to the ground. After that, Shiv Shankar lifts his wife and lays her on a bed. Later, Shiv Shankar returns to the living room and starts attacking Dada Jagdale again. By that time, Dada Jagdale had already died and Shiv Shankar then chops his dead body into 5 to 6 pieces and puts them in plastic bags. A little while later, when Monali regains consciousness, she is extremely shocked to see her husband in this state. Because of this, she later helps her husband dispose of Dada Jagdale's body and cleans the house thoroughly before their children come home. Night had fallen and in the darkness of the night, Shiv Shankar placed all the plastic bags in his Wagoner car. He also took a few bottles of hand sanitizer with him. Afterward, both husband and wife set out to dispose of Dada Jagdale's body at a deserted location. Meanwhile, Constable Shiv Shankar remembers that there is a secluded place not far from the ACP office where he could dispose of Dada Jagdale's body. So Shiv Shankar drives straight to that location and pours hand sanitizer on the dismembered body of Dada Jagdale before setting it on fire, but suddenly it starts raining, which extinguishes the fire, preventing the body from being completely burned. But finally, the Mumbai police wanted to know the reason behind Constable Shiv Shankar's deep hatred for Dada Jagdale. When Constable Shiv Shankar revealed the reason for wanting to kill Dada Jagdale, the police were even more shocked. In fact, Dada Jagdale used to sell vegetables in Solapur city, which was also where Monali Gaikwad's family was from. Although Monali and Dada Jagdale had been childhood friends, Monali later married Constable Shiv Shankar. However, because Monali and Dada Jagdale were very good friends, their friendship continued even after the marriage. As a result, Dada Jagdale would sometimes come from Solapur to Mumbai just to meet Monali. Initially, Shiv Shankar had no problem with this, but gradually he began to suspect that his wife was having an affair with Dada Jagdale. Shiv Shankar had talked to Monali about this doubt, but she told him, "You are misunderstanding me, we are just good friends." However, whenever Constable Shiv Shankar returned home from duty, he would see Monali talking to Dada Jagdale. This led to frequent arguments between the husband and wife, and at one point Monali even went to her parents' home. Later, Shiv Shankar went to Monali's family home and tried to reason with her. Monali then realized that she should talk to Dada Jagdale, and after reaching an understanding, the couple returned home. But after returning to Mumbai, Monali started receiving multiple calls from Dada Jagdale again during the day. One day, Shiv Shankar secretly checked his wife's phone. Here it is revealed that Monali Gaikwad still hasn't stopped talking to Dada Jagdale. To end this relationship, Shiv Shankar decided to kill Dada Jagdale. He then started planning the murder of Dada Jagdale. On September 29, taking advantage of the opportunity, he had his wife call Dada Jagdale, and after that, we all know what happened. However, by October 9, Constable Shiv Shankar and his wife Monali were arrested. The Mumbai police, in Shiv Shankar's presence, also recovered Dada Jagdale's head from a place called Mankhurd. In fact, Shiv Shankar had thrown Dada's head in a garbage area there. In addition, the police recovered Dada Jagdale's cell phone from Constable Shiv Shankar's police quarters. They also found Shiv Shankar's car and the sharp weapon he used to kill Dada Jagdale. The police then filed charges against Constable Shiv Shankar Gaikwad and his wife Monali Gaikwad for murder. assistant in the crime and destroying evidence. The case then went to the Sessions Court, but in January 2024, both of them filed for bail in the Mumbai High Court. However, only Monali was granted bail. In fact, her lawyer was successful in proving her innocence in the case. The latest update is that Monali is still out on bail, while Constable Shiv Shankar is serving his sentence. So with that, the Dada Jagdale murder case comes to an end right here. If you appreciate our efforts, like and share this video. If you haven't subscribed, do so now. Thank you.